Two of the disciples left Jerusalem the Sunday that Jesus rose from the dead. They'd heard from Mary and others that Jesus had risen from the dead and he was alive, but they really had a hard time believing it. And so, being sad, they headed out of town towards their home of Emmaus. As they were walking, suddenly Jesus joined them. But they didn't know it was Jesus. And they invited him to talk with them, and he asked, "Why are you so sad?" "Don't you know what happened?" they asked. "Happened where?" "You must be the only person in Jerusalem that did not hear about Jesus being put to death." Jesus asked them more questions, and they told him more about how sad they were, how they had so much hope that he was the Messiah, and they couldn't believe it when he was arrested. They'd all had dinner that night in the upper room, and they had enjoyed each other's company, but that was the last time they were all together. The next day Jesus was crucified, and he was dead. They kept talking like this as they walked along, and Jesus asked them, "Don't you know the scriptures? Don't you know that there's always hope? Don't you know that the Lord, Messiah, has to die and then come back from the dead? That has to happen." "Yes," the disciples said, but they weren't convinced. When they got to their house, they said, "You know what? Why don't you come and join us for supper?" "Oh, no, I couldn't," said Jesus. "Yes, please come." "Oh, okay." So inside they went, and they sat at the table, and they talked some more. And then Jesus picked up the bread, and he broke it, and he blessed it, and they handed it to the disciples. And they were amazed, and they looked at him, and Jesus just disappeared. "It was him," they said. "He was with us this whole time. Oh, we've got to get back to Jerusalem and tell them what happened." So that night, the two disciples ran back to Jerusalem. When they got to the upper room, they told the others what they had seen. Peter saw Jesus too. Mary had seen him. Jesus had visited everybody. They were so excited. Jesus really was alive.